Hello everyone, I am Rheya, Amira, and Maminta, and I will be discussing vowels in phonetic alphabet. On a separate discussion, Sir Leo will discuss the phonetic alphabets, including the symbols and its sounds. Now, in my report, I will just have a short recap on the vowel sounds. Then, I will be emphasizing the physical dimensions in the vowel phonemes, and also we will discuss the vowel phonemes of English, or the chart of the vowel phonemes. Alright, so these are the vowels, the phonemic symbols, and its examples. This is just a recall from Sir Leo's report. Again, this one or this symbol sounds like a long E. So this is more tensed. For example, seat, beat, teeth, right? So it is a long E sound. Now the second one is more relaxed compared to the first sound, which is a long E. Now this sounds like sit, ship, fish, right? Then the third symbol sounds like more like an E sound, the usual E sound, like said, red. Okay. The fourth one looks like a combination of letter A and E sound. So this is like cat, said, left. The fifth symbol is an invertical letter V, and this is unstressed. For example, is cup, soda, right? Then next is letter A. The usual letter A sounds like sod. This one is a long oo sound. For example, suit, you, two. Next one, this is a more relaxed oo sound, and it is pronounced as o, like soot, foot. Next is o, like sod, sewed, sewed. This one sounds like salt, bought. This one is A and I. It sounds like side, bite. This is A and another symbol. It sounds like ow, south, bow. And the last symbol sounds like oi, soy, boy. Right? So these are just a recap from the phonemic symbols discussed. Okay, so the vowel phonemes that were discussed in the previous slide are described in the terms of the following physical dimensions. The first one is the tongue height. So for any articulation corresponding to one of these vowel phonemes, the tongue is either relatively high in the mouth, mid, or low. So these are the vowel sounds that you can create depending on the position of the tongue in the mouth. So when the tongue is high, this one, the letter I here, the red color here, is when the tongue is in high position. And these are the vowel sounds that you can produce from it. We have the E, the I, the U, and the A. Okay? So when we say these words, our tongue is in the high position. E. Now for the mid part, this is the mid part, the color blue one. These are the sounds that you can have. The 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 A, and the O. Now for the last one, the low part, this is when our tongue is in the low part of our mouth, the color violet here, the purple one. These are the sounds that you can produce. We have the A, and the O. Okay, are you getting my point? Now let us try to observe the position of our tongue when we say these two words. Starting off with the word see. See. So our tongue is in high part or in a high position. E, see. Now when we say, a, say, okay, our tongue is in the mid part. Say. Okay, it's getting lower. Okay, so that is the tongue height. The second physical dimension is the frontness. For any articulation corresponding to one of these vowel phonemes, the tongue is either relatively front or back. So we have here a representation for you to understand the position of the tongue. So we have the front, the back, the closed or the upper part, and the open. Now, let us try to observe the movement of our tongue when we produce these vowel sounds. So again, these are the E, the I, the E, the E, and the A, or the Okay? So you can observe from that our tongue is in front. E. Okay? It is closer to the opening of the mouth. Now when we say a, oo, o, o, okay? Our tongue is being pulled back here. Okay? So that is the frontness. Let us compare the two words, the movement of our tongue based on these two words. So we have see, so our tongue is in front, and when we say su, our tongue is in the back. So that is the frontness that is being explained. The third physical dimension is the lip rounding. For any articulation corresponding to one of these vowel phonemes, the lips are either relatively round or spread. So again, these are the vowel sounds that you can produce when the lips are round. For example, oo, o, or sot, o. Okay? So our lips are rounded. O, bowl, coal. Now, our mouth or our lips can also be spread through these vowel sounds like E, I, A, right? It's like you are smiling. So our lips is widening or spreading. Let us compare based on the following examples. When we say so, it is rounded. Now, when we say, our lips are spreading. Now, that is the lip rounding. The last physical dimension is the tenseness. For any articulation corresponding to one of these vowel phonemes, the vocal musculature is either relatively tense or lax. Some called it relax. Okay, so again, these are the vowel sounds that you can produce when our vocal musculature is tensed. When we say tense, or these vowels are enunciated with strong exertion. Okay, or there is a level of pressure in the tongue muscles. So when we produce E, there is a pressure in our tongue muscles. E, oo, o. Okay? So in this representation, the tense vowels are here in the light gray areas. So these are the tense sounds. Now for the lax, It is more like when the jaw is dropping a little, or these are the short vowels, like the e, a, e, okay? And this is the lax vowels, okay? So let us try to compare the tenses of these words. When we say aid, there is a tense sound. Now for the ed, this is a lax sound. Okay, so that is the tenses. Alright, so this is the vowel phoneme chart, and this is a diagram of our mouth. So I have here a side view profile for you to understand the position of this chart compared to our mouth, or the actual mouth. Okay, so again, this is the front, this is the back, the open, and the close. Now, all of the vowels in the left part of the chart is the front vowel, this one. All of the vowels in the left part is the front vowel. That means our tongue is rolling forward to produce vowel. So when we say e or a or e, our tongue is moving forward, closer to the opening of our mouth. So that is the front vowel. Now, when our tongue pulls backward, when we say oo, o, or ah, our tongue pulls back. So that is the back vowel, right? Another is the horizontal axis. This horizontal axis, okay, this one, the horizontal axis. Now, in here, this is the horizontal. Yan. This is the position of the tongue. While for the vertical axis, this one, the vertical axis is the position of the jaw. So when you go higher of the chart, or when you go higher to the chart, the mouth or the jaw is more closed. When you open your mouth, there is a wide space between the tongue and the upper palate. For example, this one sounds like eh. So in here, the jaw is dropped or dropping. When we go higher of the chart, it is becoming more tensed. So from we can have the e, right? Okay, so that is the vertical axis. Alright, so these are the elements of this chart. We will be starting off with the long E sound. So again, as we go higher to the chart, the more tense it is. The more we go down on the chart, the more relaxed our tongue is. Okay? So in here, when we say long E, okay, it is a high vowel because the tongue is high. You can observe from the way you speak the letter or the sound E. So this is a tense vowel. So all the articulations are really tensed. Now we also have here a short E. Okay, more relaxed. As you can observe, it is lower than the long E here. So as we go lower, our tongue or our jaw falls down a little. We're gonna bring down our tongue lower. So from E, the C, she, we can have the relaxed E, which is fish, chip, ship. Okay, so that is the E and the E, right? Okay, moving on to the mid part of the tongue, we have here the e. Actually, there are 5 neutral vowel sounds that we know: the a, e, I, o, u, right? But in some other languages, these do not exist. So we have here in the mid part, actually closer to the lower part, is the American E. For example, red, head, said. Okay. Now, following the mid part, closer to the American E, this one, is the sound, like the cat, the cat, bad, left. Okay, so it's our tongue and our jaw is getting more relaxed because we are now in the lower part of the tongue. Okay, so we have to keep the tip of our tongue forward. Cat, left. Okay, moving on to the central part of the tongue. As you can observe, we have your 3 vowel sounds. They are in the middle part of the chart because the tongue is basically at rest pose. So it is like when you are not speaking, so try to close your mouth and try not to speak. So that is the moment that our tongue is at rest. Okay? In here, the jaw is not open or not too open, and our tongue is resting at the bottom part of our mouth. Now, we will be starting off with this first symbol, this one. It is actually called as the schwa. And schwa is the most neutral sound in American English. So how does this schwa sound like? In the word banana, the sound banana is the schwa sound. Okay? Now, the second one, it is like an inverted letter V. It is the stressed schwa. Okay, for example, cup, country, love, money, the although they do have different spellings or they do not have the spelling pattern, if it has the sound okay, cup, country, our tongue is in the center part. Okay, and the last one is this one. It is always associated with the R sound, the R sound. And this is the most neutral sound combined with the R. For example, girl, world, learn, her. Okay, the sound, or sound is the sound for this symbol. Okay, so the tongue is in the center. The sides of the tongue pulls back a little to create the sound R. Okay, girl, world, girl. Okay, center. Alright, we are almost done with our chart. Let us now proceed to the long oo sound. This is in the high part of the chart. That means oo sound is a tensed vowel. Aside from that, when we speak or when we utter the word or the sound oo, our tongue pulls backward. That is why the oo sound is in this position. Now, after that, or lower than the long oo sound, is the aw. So it is more relaxed because it is lower than the oo based on its position. But just like what I told you a while ago, the neutral sounds like the a, e, I, o, u do not exist in some other languages. Now, you can observe as well this vowel sound. And it is actually the sound between the sounds of oo and o. So this is o, like foot, right? After that, we also have this vowel sound o. Okay, the o, the neutral oo sound. This is actually a diphthong. When we say diphthong, there is a change in the pronunciation in the middle of the word. So this is an example of diphthong. So from o, it goes down to oo, o, like go, show, only. Okay. Then there is a transition from o to oo. The jaw is a bit more open as we go lower, just like the others. Then the tongue is still at the back part here. Now, we also have this vowel at the back part of the tongue, but it's in the middle. For example, the word daughter, because this one sounds like an o, like in daughter, law, tall, fall. Okay? When we say do, o, our tongue is in the middle, but it's still pulling backward. And we also have this one. This is also a diphthong. It sounds like oi, oi, like toy, boy, coin, right? Next is this one, the A sound. This one, the A sound. For example, sail, day, fail. So this is in between the sound of the E and the I here, like the A. So from the middle sound, or from the middle position of the tongue, it is becoming more tense. A. Okay. Now we also have this one, the I sound. It is in the lower part of the tongue because our jaw is, or our jaw drops when we say I. The jaw is more relaxed, the tongue is more relaxed, like my, life, bite, I. Okay, so we are starting with an open mouth. The jaw is at the almost open position because it's in the lowest part of the chart. Alright, last one is this vowel sound. It is actually a diphthong. It sounds like ow. Okay, like brown, town. So let us see how how the movement of our tongue changes when we pronounce a diphthong. Okay, so for example, we have the word brown, and as you can observe, when we pronounce the word brown, our mouth is opening widely. But as we pronounce the last sound produced, it is becoming more tensed. Okay, in low part, in the low vowels, our jaw or our tongue is more relaxed, but it is becoming more tense as we go along or as we change the pronunciation because of the diphthong. Okay, so from the it becomes ow. So our mouth closes, so it becomes a tensed vowel. Brown, cow, right? Okay, so that is the last of the vowel sounds that we are going to discuss today. So I hope that you have learned from our discussion. Again, thank you so much for listening. This has been Rhea, Amira, and Maminta. Thank you so much, and God bless.